Okay, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and this is entry 31, the final entry in my series of videos to participate in RPG a Day for 2017. So if this is the first of the videos, then welcome to the end. This is a series of videos where I'm answering a different question relating to role-playing games for every day in August of 2017. And today's question, the final question, is what do you anticipate most for gaming in 2018? So I'm actually going to expand that a little bit and just talk about what I've got planned for 2017, because it's only August. We still have 4 months left in the year. Which means we're only about 2/3 of the way through the year. That's cool. Yeah. So what do I have? Do I anticipate, or what am I looking forward to in the coming year? Well, in terms of books, to be honest, I'm not on top of the release schedules of a lot of games nowadays, and a lot of the games that, apart from major publishers like Wizards of the Coast, I don't find that a lot of publishers really announce their stuff ahead of time too. It's sort of when they've got it ready to go, then it's announced. The things that I know I'm looking forward to in terms of actual play at my table, we're in the process right now, myself and my players at the time of recording, of getting together our characters for a 4th edition D&D campaign that I'm kicking off next Friday, actually, about a week tomorrow. And I'm really excited about that. I have had a lot of fun revisiting that edition of D&D. I've mentioned on this channel before about just how much fun I had with it back in the day. And I made some changes to the game, some house rules I'm using to make it play, supplement some areas I think were maybe a little underdeveloped at the time that I played it last time. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about continuing on with our Shadow of the Demon Lord campaign. We're at level, the time of recording, the guys are at level 6, which means they'll be hitting level 7 at the end of this current adventure. So looking forward to that. I am looking forward to seeing the first couple of releases in terms of the games that are coming out. The first couple of releases that are going to be coming out for Starfinder. I have not had a chance because I'm at the time of recording, I'm moving tomorrow. So I've been packing and getting all that stuff ready and still trying to work during that the last week or so. So I haven't had a chance to dig into Starfinder yet, but I'm really looking forward to spending some time with that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to come from that product line. I don't run Pathfinder really anymore. I'm going to be kicking off a campaign in September, a solo campaign for a friend of mine, but I'm not particularly. I guess since I'm not really running it as it's not one of my go-to games. But I enjoy those books. I enjoy the products that they put out for it. The last batch of things that I picked up were Ultimate Intrigue and Ultimate or the Occult Adventures book, and Occult Adventures. So horror adventures and occult adventures in that one, and they were great. Like, they're really interesting books. A lot of cool ideas in there that I think would make for interesting campaigns, and I'm excited to see what they're going to come up with for Starfinder as well too. I think that as the books developed in Pathfinder, I have found them to be to have more interesting ideas as they go along. So I'm interested to see what they do, having learned that much from running Pathfinder, to see what they're going to come up with in terms of their upcoming products. I'm not sure there's other games necessarily. I will, I'm going to pick up the 5th edition version of 5th edition D&D version, or I can't remember what it's called, Xanthar's Guide or something like that. It's going to be the new class book that'll be our new alternate rules, or not alternate rules, but different classes. That seems like it'll be interesting. I don't have immediate use for that necessarily, but it'll be an interesting read anyway. I'm looking forward to seeing where the Star Trek Adventures line goes that Modiphius is publishing. Looks like there's some interesting stuff there. I'm looking forward to seeing more Conan books. I haven't actually received my Conan books yet. I've been running Conan from photocopies the last little while. So once the first wave of books is finished printing, then mine will ship out, and I'm looking forward to getting those and seeing what other books that have come out. The last thing that came out, I think, was either Book of Skelos or Conan the Mercenary, and I'm not running Conan right now. So as much as I really love that game, I'm more invested in running a 4th edition D&D game right now. But I am excited to see what's coming out for Conan. In terms of bigger picture for the coming year, what I'm hoping to do, and this exercise has really helped me sort out why I was feeling less invested in our ongoing Star Wars campaign than I had been in the past. And part of it is because it was time to change games. You know, it was time to do something different. In the past, I usually run about a year and a half where I will continue running a game before I sort of lose steam in it. So I think what I need to do for this 4th edition campaign is bear that in mind, that my interest may wane after a certain point, and plan for that accordingly for the campaign, so that people aren't left in limbo. The Star Wars campaign is set up in such a way such that we did end a season, so we finished our 2nd season, so that was able to be put on hiatus without. The players still wanted to play, obviously, but I don't feel that I've left. I didn't leave them in a cliffhanger. They left that at an appropriate season break. So maybe I need to bear that in mind for D&D as well. But a year and a half would put us through to the end of 2018. And the last time I ran D&D 4th extensively, I didn't run anything else, and that's, I've mentioned quite a few times throughout the series of these series of videos how much of a gaming dilettante I tend to be, where I'll run different things quite a bit. And I think I would like to try and do a little less of that. It's great fun hopping around for the games, but I would like to spend a good length of time actually with one game, I think, for the coming year. Now, obviously I'm going to run something different on my Wednesdays, but if possible, I would like to just keep spending so that my Fridays, my players know exactly what's going to happen, regardless of what players show up. So if we're down 1 or 2 players, we're still going to be playing that edition. And I've come up with an in-universe explanation for why characters are missing from that too. So I'm hoping that will help, because one of the problems I ran into in the past was that when if I was down 2 players out of 5, I wouldn't run the campaign that were, particularly if it was someone who was sort of in the spotlight for where we left things. I wouldn't run that game, and I would run either a different game, or I'd run a war story session, which is one of my things where I go in the past and I use it to fill in backstory or whatever. If I do the war story session with this campaign, I want to keep them to a very bare minimum this time, because I want the players to be excited in seeing the characters develop, and to be able to see their plans they have for those characters come to fruition. I'm going to be slowing down advancement with 4th edition because I don't feel that obviously there's always something, it's always cool to get a new level. I don't feel that 4th edition requires the rush through the early levels that other editions do, because you're still able to play not fairly, but you're completely in-depth and tactical combats at every level, right? So I don't find that I need to get them past the point where they're just 2 angry goblins away from the grave. So I want to let them just get familiar with their characters, get familiar with their abilities, adopt some tactics, adopt some cooperative work, cooperative teamwork, and then use these early sessions to try and showcase for the players the things that I really love about 4th edition, like really adding tactical options, making for more dynamic and goal-oriented encounters as well too, to try and make the combats feel more like set pieces and less like less like unnecessary grinding, I guess. I want it to feel it's more exciting, more dramatic than just your typical combats. But anyway, for the reason I mentioned that is because like I said, I think what I want to do is try and focus just on that one game. And what I'll do is what I did in the past is just steal ideas from other games. I intend to convert over the travel rules from the D20 version of Adventures in Middle Earth. It's the 5th edition version, not D20. The One Ring game has some really, really great travel rules that I've used before in 5th edition, and I want to adapt those for this edition as well, because I think they'll play awesome. It's a great way to make travel seem more interesting, and I think it's a better alternative. Either I'm going to use it as an alternative to the skill challenge system in 4th edition, or I'm going to try and synthesize a way to make them work similarly. I don't think with rules as written that's possible, because, but we'll see. I mean, I'm going to put some thought into that. What else? I want to. What else am I looking forward to? I guess, yeah, for now, I'm really looking forward to that campaign. I'm looking forward to, I'm also looking forward to, we haven't talked about, this isn't a role-playing game per se, but it's very close to it. But the Iron Kingdoms tabletop game, Undercity. We played quite a bit of that for the first part of the summer. At the end of the late spring and early summer, I myself and a couple of friends had a regular monthly Undercity night, and we get together. We have some dinner, and then we play Undercity for a couple of hours. And if you're not familiar with that game, it's like a lot of those other sort of like dungeon crawl games where you're getting experience points for your character and stuff like that. The main difference is that there is no DM. There's no one who's sitting in the role of DM. It's everyone just playing against against the game, and that's really fun. It was a really, really fun game, and I've got 2 different groups that I've played that with, and all the characters I've played in that have been a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to getting back to that and finishing off that campaign with my friends. What else? I'm looking forward to playing more as well. One of the really great opportunities I had in the last year was playing in my buddy Jared Rashner's Shadow of the Demon Lord campaign. I had a ton of fun playing, and it was a great time seeing a character from first level to, from 0 level to 10th level to the end of game. And I made a bunch of new friends doing that as well too, which was because there was a bunch of us online who all got together and played. And I want to try and do more of that. Play with people who I don't normally play with, because I've seen I'm fortunate that I've got friends who I have known forever, and we just it just so happens that we have our Wednesdays and our alternate Friday sessions that work out. So I am starting in a step in that right direction. I'm going to be playing again, which has been very valuable as a Shadow of the Demon Lord DM. So I'm going to try and spend more time behind the on the other side of the screen, so I can be a player. And to be a player and playing with people I haven't met before, I'm going to be playing in my buddy Jason Hobbs's campaign. He's running a West Marches style BX version of D&D in his custom setting called Kalmata. I am foolishly playing a first level magic user in it, so I imagine he may not be long for this world, but I am looking forward to giving it a try and seeing if I can keep him alive long enough. And I'm looking forward to seeing what that style play is like, because I just I don't run. I run games with a sandbox element to them, but I think that there's always shit happening in that world that the players have to respond to. Maybe I don't understand what a sandbox campaign is necessarily supposed to be like. Blades in the Dark is probably the closest that I've run to that. What else? I guess Blades in the Dark, actually, now that I think of it, I would like to get that. There was about a month and a half there where I was really into Blades in the Dark, and then it sort of not that my interest died off, and it's just that other things came up. So I might see if I can squeeze in a Blades in the Dark ongoing game as well too. We once our Shadow of the Demon Lord campaign wraps up, which will be, I think, sometime in early 2018. We're talking about what we're going to play next, and I have been sort of humming and hawing about what to do with that. I'm actually thinking now that I might want to try Starfinder for that for that campaign, but we'll see what the guys say. I had thought about running Traveler as the second edition Mongoose one, because it's cool. It's got a lot of great stuff in it, and there's they published a really cool sandbox campaign called the Pirates of Drinax, and I have ordered in a physical copy, which is going to be huge and quite expensive. So to justify that purchase, maybe I should think about running that. I want to see what Traveller is all about. Like I have not had a chance. I don't think I've ever run Traveller for any length of time. I've run Traveller New Era on and off, and I've run one session of the new one. So I'd like to give that a try. And then if that, maybe either that or Starfinder, or see which speaks more to the players. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would want to play. You know what I'd like to go back to again to actually in 2018. I know I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth here, saying I want to stick to one thing, but Champions. As much as I really love Mutants Masterminds, and it's a game that I don't find for what it's trying to emulate, I find it is a near perfect game. I still love Champions and the hero system for all its warts and flaws and stuff like that. So I might go back to an idea that I had for our Wednesday sessions to do that, or I might just pop in a one shot. Although that really just ends up being kind of a superheroes punching each other. Maybe what I need to do is focus on trying to run Mutants Masterminds again, because that system is a lot easier and a lot easier for people to wrap their heads in, and also allows them to play superheroes in a more casual way than what's required from Champions. But in terms of playing, gosh, I'm not sure if there's anything else. I would like my buddy James has been running for the last couple of years on and off, has been running a 4th edition D&D campaign where I've been playing a Goliath Rune Priest. Now his race is Goliath, but to be honest, my picture and that I have, or my portrait for him, is a what are they called? Draenei from World of Warcraft, because I just think it looks cool. And it looks cooler to me. It looks cooler than Goliath does. So I'm hoping I can go and play my Draenei character in his campaign again soon. Unfortunately, he's recently had his 3rd kid, so that's probably not going to be happening anytime soon. But yeah, I guess that's it. So that's sort of what my plans are. The books I'm looking forward to, the campaign plans I'm looking forward to. Really excited about this 4th edition D&D campaign. Like this is, we've got 4 out of the potential 6 characters that are playing in the campaign together now, and it's just I'm getting more ideas every time I sit down to put some pen to paper to hammer out some a list of possible things that'll come up. So I'm really excited about that. And if on the off chance that one of my players is listening to this video, I'd ask you to shut it off now so you don't spoil stuff for yourself, because I'm going to be wrapping up right afterwards anyway. But I am going to talk about what I got planned for the campaign, so please don't keep watching. But anyway, now that I've paused for them to get going, I'm also looking forward to trying to see how far I can get into the Scales of War adventure path that was published for 4th edition D&D. That's been one of my gaming white whales for, since really the first couple of them came out. I've made one effort to try and run it before, and haven't got myself through it. We only got up to the partway through the first adventure, to be honest. But there are a lot of adventures in there that just so happen to be written by Rob Schwab, the guy who wrote Shadow the Demon Lord, that are really, really cool. I think they have some really great ideas. There's a lot of opportunity for a DM to expand the adventures into being more than just the set pieces that they've got set in there. But there's also some really, really cool set pieces in it. The second adventure is called the Siege of Bordrin's Watch. And if you're intent on playing this at any point, it's a 8-year-old adventure, so maybe not. But spoilers. I'm going to enter into spoiler territory here. But the final scene in it is a scene where you're fighting a bunch of spawning orcs that are coming out at different levels in this thing, while you're waiting for this giant machine to fill up with water, and you're fighting your way up to kind of escape this thing. And that's just awesome. Like, that's everything that makes 4th edition an interesting game in my mind, is having to, be so tactical with your play, and to grab the character who's falling behind, or to, push orcs off the side, or to avoid being pushed off the side or bull rushed by an orc. That's all awesome stuff, and I think it's going to make an amazing and memorable encounter. In particular, given the characters that the guys are coming up with, and the characters that they're coming up with, it just works out. It's worked out nicely that I've got ways to link them into, aspects of the campaign that don't happen for quite a few levels. Now, if this, like every other campaign, doesn't follow through to the length that we go, then that's fine. But I love that I'm back to being able to sort of play. I've got a roadmap going forward for what the long game is going to be. It seems like a really interesting series of adventures as well too. I love I think the setting of it is a little too loose. It's hard to figure out where there are certain adventures that take you to different cities, but it's not really clear where those cities are. But that's giving me an opportunity to do some, do some world building stuff to figure out where that shit's going to fit in the world that I've got, and to lay some of the groundwork for what what the characters will encounter later on. So anyway, that's what I got planned for the 4th edition campaign. I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, so that's kind of it. This is the last video. I have had more fun than not doing this, so I think that I would consider doing it again next year. Hopefully the questions aren't the same, though. I mean, I don't know what last year's were like, but if it's largely the same questions again, I may not. I don't think that I need to say the same thing again. But this has been a lot of fun. It's been great thinking about these issues. It's really helped myself to come to grips with the problem I was having with my Star Wars campaign, my biggest ongoing campaign, and it's got me really excited. Had I not gone through this process, I don't think I would have been back, getting ready to run 4th edition D&D again. So that's been a very, very positive experience. I hope you've enjoyed the videos. I appreciate anyone who has left comments on the videos throughout this series. It's been great interacting with you guys and hearing about different games and different experiences that you guys have had as well. So yeah. Anyway, as always, if you have any questions, concerns, or comments regarding this, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the section below. I will endeavor to get back to you as soon as I'm able. I will maybe out without internet for a day or so, just because of the move. So I'm hoping not, but I may not. So there may be a delay in my response, but just rest assured that I will respond at some point. And I hope you've enjoyed these. As I said, these have been a lot of fun to go through, and yeah. So I think the benefit that I've drawn from these, for whatever benefit these may have been for any of the viewers, for myself, this has been a really helpful process to be thinking about games in different ways and on a more regimented basis. So I think I'd like to maybe continue on a series in something in this vein going forward, because I mean, let's be honest, whether people are watching or not, I'll do it anyway. But it's been such a benefit for myself that I think I might start doing that going forward. So I wish you all a very happy RPG a Day month. I hope you've enjoyed the 2017 exercise, and I think there's a good chance that I will see you folks again next year. So thanks, and have a great September.